France's foreign minister says negotiations are close to the finishing line, but the final steps are the most difficult. World powers are trying to reach a groundbreaking deal aimed at blocking Iran's capacity to build a nuclear bomb in exchange for the lifting of sanctions. Our diplomatic editor, James Bays, joining us from Lausanne, where the talks have been taking place. So when France's foreign minister, James, says that the final steps are the most difficult, what are the final steps that are not allowing them to come out and make the announcement of some sort of deal?
Well, we don't know the exact details. We know the stumbling blocks that have been there over the past couple of weeks in these negotiations. And those are about the timeline of a deal. They're about the future research and development for Iran's nuclear program going towards the end of that timeline. And also about the sanctions relief, although we believe that some progress has been made on that last point. But we also, as well as all of that, it's also argument, I think, about exactly what would be made public, what would be in any document that was released that we all saw, because the US administration wants some concrete things in this to show to Congress to try and stave off sanctions. I think the Iranians want to keep the negotiations going till the final deadline at the end of June to see what more they can get in these negotiations, and I don't think they want to write down as much. I think that's one of the dynamics that's going on here in negotiations which, as you say, are going on and on and on. It's quite amazing, in fact, the amount they've been meeting. Overnight, we had further meetings, and in those meetings with the US Secretary of State and the Iranian Foreign Minister, they sat down effectively for about 8 hours and only finished their meetings just before dawn, just before 6 a.m. Local time. They're getting a little rest now, but we believe the meetings will continue, and it's really not clear at this stage what progress they made overnight. Nothing is being announced at this stage. We think it's likely, as those meetings overnight were just mainly with the US, the Iranians and the EU, that some of the other countries involved were brought back in the meetings that were expected to take place shortly. So are either side feeling sort of any pressure to concede at this point, seeing that they are 2 days past that March 31st deadline? Yeah, we are past that deadline, and remember that was a very hard deadline for the Obama administration. They had said there was no way we're going past the end of March. One of my colleagues was joking a short time ago, here we find ourselves on March the 33rd, because they have gone way past that deadline here in Lausanne. And I think that shows the importance for the Obama administration in getting something concrete out of this, because the real deadline for the US side is when Congress returns. The threat that there could be sanctions, that's the 14th of April. I don't think anyone thinks we're going to go here in Lausanne that long. They are hopeful, I think, that they can try and get something in the next few days before the weekends, but it is tough going.
Okay, James. Thank you. James Bays, our diplomatic editor, reporting from Lausanne.